What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters, Daniel Roden, Apache Overlord, Alec Eccentric, Tech Snow, Ross Lingard, and John. Thank you all so much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to check out the link down below to find out more. Thanks again. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I cannot wait for y'all to see this episode. For everyone out there wondering why I'm so excited, it's probably my favorite episode. And for those of you out there who have seen the series already, y'all probably know why. As Nick stated earlier, this is where the plot thickens with the series. This is where we get a little bit of a dose of some character backstory and a little bit of mystery and a little bit of little bit of a hint at what is to come for the rest of the series. So
they kind of started with a sort of like bounty of the week type formula, and this is where they're like, all right, but there is going to be...
But there is a plot.
Yeah, a bigger picture to this.
Which actually we got a hint of at the very beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. The image with Spike throwing the cigarette down, walking away with the roses in his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, getting embroiled in the gunfight and all that. You know that there's something there, but they don't state it until now.
Okay.
Because this episode is where we really see how the chips fell in the place that they are now. And we really get to dive into the backstory of several characters, especially one. And honestly, it has, to me, one of the most epic action sequences out there in terms of anime. And not only that, but also one of the best build-ups. Because of the scenery, 2, because of the song. The song, which actually a long time ago, I learned how to play on the organ. And I actually played it for you a long time ago, back when we were in Porno Arcade. And, it was... I was hoping one day I'd show you the series. And here we are, X amount of years
it's
later.
It's happened. I don't remember
10 years later.
you playing that. I have ADD, so I don't know if I was paying
it's
attention.
okay. It's okay.
I was probably like, oh, carpet.
Well, there was carpet in that room. It was one of the only rooms that did have carpet. All right. So anyway, yeah, I'm very excited for y'all to see this. So without further ado, let's just dive into it.
Let's get it.
Let's do it. Okay. There we are. And boom. All right. Oh gosh. Here we go. I figured we'd do the intro because we haven't done it since the first episode.
I'm cool with that.
Slap that funky bass.
Okay, 3, 2, 1,
Let's jam.
Honestly, still, 20 years later, still one of the best anime openings of all time, by far.
It's great.
I go back every time I think about this series, I just gotta listen to the soundtrack again, because it's just like, damn.
I can see why. It's great.
My friend said they tried to play that in jazz band in high school, but nobody could hit that note.
Well, it's bebop, dude. I mean, it's a hard form of jazz to really get.
I mean, that's gross.
Blood oaths, dude.
Can't you find a napkin to wipe that on? Come on, guy.
There you go.
Frogman.
Huh. Well,
It's a neat looking ship.
yeah, it's a Centra. It's
Thank God I can
I
finally
forget
relax. Take a
type of
breather.
Huh.
the type of ship that's known as.
Ooh.
I knew it was coming. I just thought it was going to be sooner. It's a dope bird.
But you know that thing's shitting down his back all the
Oh,
time.
God, yeah.
Something big.
That could either be seen as a good omen or a bad omen. I mean, sometimes too much luck can ruin you. That's a hell of a way to make an entrance. Hello. Okay, I'm not gonna pretend that that was not me at one point in my life. Although I didn't do that. I was never ballsy enough to do that shit. The convenience store owner where I lived was a scary, scary man.
I couldn't think to drink alcohol like that ever. I would throw up so hard.
I have once. It was one called a Death's Doorstep. They served it to me at Reno's. Jordan Barnett paid for it, so I wasn't going to tell him no.
Right. What are you planning to do with
So-
all the artillery? You understand? It's a trap.
Yeah, I know the whole set.
Trap?
And you're still
Easy
blowing
Akbar.
Wait, does this have to do with Mao?
Yeah, I have a debt to pay off.
That's neat looking.
Oh, yeah.
Creepy with the birds. Whoever's over the music department for this did a great job.
Yoko Kanno, man, she's a genius.
Everything just fits so well.
I know. This is that song I was telling you about.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Now, we'd like you to drop the gun slowly. What's wrong if you don't comply?
Ouch.
I'm butchering it.
A little high on that cut there, Jet. Gotta cut the branch below it.
Damn it!
I've bled all that kind of blood away.
Then why are you still alive?
Surprise.
See, this is the song I always remember.
Yeah.
Just like that. Sing for me, please.
You finally up, huh? You slept too much. You've been asleep 3 days. Yeah, I was starting to worry about you. Hey, you should be grateful to me for staying here.
Are you my mummy?
You sing off key.
Just had to be an asshole, huh?
That was good though.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a good episode.
The music was dope. for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. The music, like I said, man, the music is just one of the cornerstones, but it's a big one when it comes to stuff like this. I mean, Jesus.
So I'm guessing the other dude is his brother.
No. Well, sort of brother. They came up in the syndicate together under Mal.
Yeah.
Mal brought them both in and trained them, and thus was pretty much had them as his right-hand men.
Cool.
And then something happened, and they had a falling out, and it's been pretty much a gigantic blood feud ever since.
Awesome.
That's what you want.
I want to see that guy's bird and Jontron's bird fight.
Jacques would win. Jacques got laser vision.
Right.
Jacques has laser vision. He's killed a few people with it. That bird, on the other hand, it's intimidating. I mean, it's a big bird, but Jacques would just be he would just be like, it'd be like, on guard. And just
Guy's
shoot.
got some kind of goth Pidgeotto.
I've never heard it described like that. That's actually pretty.
Whirlwind attack.
Yeah. He said his name's Fierce.
Vicious.
Vicious.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's
well,
fierce,
Like
though.
Sid
not-
Vicious.
Yeah, like Sid
Fierce.
Vicious. Actually,
I'm thinking about Gatorade. Fierce.
when Shinichiro, when Watanabe was making the show, he said a lot of the names in this are tributes. For instance, Vicious, as reference to Sid Vicious, one of the.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, and of course, was Spike Spiegel. I think Spiegel is actually it's German for mirror, and as the series goes on, you'll understand the reference there. And then, of course, there's there so many hidden references throughout this. I mean, just wow. And honestly, man, this episode here is one that just made me go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
This is
there were
something
parts
special.
I was getting lost in the moment watching. Like as soon as he came up on that church and like walked in,
Yes,
it was on. I felt like the same way I felt whenever Neo in the Matrix walks into that like bank or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Felt the same way.
It's
Yeah.
perfect moments like that in filmmaking that truly cement a series or cement a certain it just cements what you're watching as something special.
Yeah.
One movie that did that with me was the opening 30 minutes of Gravity. The opening 30 minutes of Gravity, I got lost because honestly it was just so well done, so immersive, the sound design, the visuals, everything was so beautiful. And then the plot got involved, and while I didn't get disinterested, it's just it didn't feel the same. I get what you're saying about getting lost in the moment.
Oh yeah.
Things that happen that's actually what happened to me first time I watched this. I actually like turned off everything around me, like my awareness of everything around me, and just got lost in that moment. Got lost in that moment of Spike walking up with Rain playing in the background. I mean, that Rain is one of my favorite songs from the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack because it's effectively a dreary song with an organ and a guitar solo singing about walking in the rain and just and comparing it to dodging bullets dodging the bullets is effectively like dodging the rain. It's impossible. And I love that. I love the symbolism, and I love the connotations that it brings up, and just everything flows together so well, and it makes that into one of the more perfect anime moments.
I think that's
I've
one
ever
of the
seen.
main reasons that Persona 5 soundtrack has stood out to me so much is because it reminds me of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The soundtrack from this show.
They did a good job placing the music in that game,
Yeah.
which they
Yes.
are good at.
Well, Atlas is
Persona's
just
music's always awesome.
Atlas always does great work, man. I mean, and just like Watanabe, anytime he puts something out, I have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's like when he did Samurai Champloo, it's like I have to watch this, and effectively it works the same way. To me, it's not as it's not as trailblazing as this. This is a trailblazing show on its own because everyone I talk to doesn't really know where to place it.
This is like Samurai Champloo, you know what it is and you know what you're getting into, and it's really, really well done for what it is. But this is like almost like an experience where you're kind of like, man, this is completely different than what I even expected, and that's a good thing, like, you know.
Yeah, and it doesn't overwhelm you with too many characters. It doesn't. It introduces everything and it makes everything flow in a nice, organized manner. I mean, effectively, what did you all get? Think of this episode. I mean, just like in terms of what you all got from it. I mean, just whoever wants to go.
I'll let you go.
It was easy to invest in, you know. And I feel like I'm not wasting my time when I'm watching the episodes that lead up to the next one, because it has like this really light way of stacking things. Like you were saying, you don't get lost because there's really not that much, but there's substance to what there is.
Yes.
And I feel like this episode was a bigger stack than usual, but it was like you worked up to it.
Yes.
If this was the first episode, it'd be like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But where you're established with Spike and all them so far, you actually have more investment because you've seen them at their calmer moments or in different scenarios. But here it's just like, damn, what the hell
Right.
happened? What about you, Andrew? I mean,
I really liked it. I mean, it was very captivating. Like, it just kind of, like you said, sucked you in. I kind of realized I was getting a little quiet for a minute because I just kind of was just enthralled with what was going on. Like I said, everything just meshes really well. Like, it's just really well done.
yeah.
It's nice to get some backstory, get another villain in there, see some blood going on.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it's
good.
Whenever this series wants to go hard with its like, because this is rated mature, and when this debuted, it was rated MA, and even then it had to be censored because it debuted on Adult Swim. But later on, when I watched it fully uncensored, it's like it earns that mature audience's rating, because just like the movie being rated R, it's not afraid to go violent if it has to.
Right.
It's not an overwhelming amount of violence. You know, say you're watching something like King's Game or something like that, where it's effectively like Saw and they depend on the gore too much.
There were savage moments in Swamp Thing that I just saw today.
Well,
I got scarred by this one. There's like a spoiler alert, I guess. But like the swamp creature stuff, mutated swamp fungus or whatever, was inside of this dead guy. And then it kind of aliens out of his face. And like the bones and skin is just...
Good practical effects.
Oh. They spared no expense on this shit for sure. It is really, really well done.
You know?
But yeah, I would recommend watching it. It's like a lot of melodramatic bullshit that's going to be in any DC series, evidently.
yeah, of course.
But as far as like the crazy horror shit that should be involved in Swamp Thing, it's definitely there.
Good.
Definitely there.
yeah,
They need to keep going.
and well, this episode in a lot of people's minds, I've actually looked at a lot of lists of this show, and a lot of people have this ranked in their top 3 episodes.
I could see that.
And
granted, we've only seen 5 now.
I'd say
Yeah.
it's my top 3 or 4, but
yeah,
there's still a couple of episodes I like even more than this
well,
one.
I know episode 7, like you mentioned, is probably your favorite, and I know why.
For reasons, yeah.
Yeah, for reasons. This one, and actually one episode, like you talked about, the one episode you count as 2, I sort of do as well.
Yeah.
It's or the 2 episodes that count as 1.
Yeah, it's 2 episodes that are part 1 and part 2 of a thing. So.
And I effectively count them as 1 episode because it's a great story. And
and then there's also an episode that introduces one more character that we have yet to see yet. That's also awesome because I just love that character.
I do too.
I love all 4.
I do too.
You know, all the main characters like in the anime are cool, but like that one in particular.
And a lot of people's minds,
do
that
like a
character is everyone's favorite too. And
Well, my
it'll
favorite
be-
character's Ein.
Oh, well, of course, Ein, the dog. Leave it up to the dog.
Yeah,
of
but
course.
like the other one is my second favorite, and Spike's probably my third. But like I love all of them.
Yeah.
Like every character in this is awesome. It's really hard to rank them actually.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think it's
It's
the
all in
point. I mean,
chat too. It's like,
well, I just like all the
damn
main
it.
characters. I just like all the main. Yeah, exactly. Looking at the bonsai tree, realizing, oh damn it,
got yourself into this. Get yourself out of it.
damn it. It's good
He's always
shit.
trying to act like a hard ass. In every episode, he ends up being the cool guy, though, the nice guy.
Tell me some more. Like, such a good.
He just comes in with just like some of the coolest stuff.
Yeah.
And also, there's stuff about him as well that we don't know. I mean, his arm. I mean, he told us, sort of a synopsis of why he lost it, but not
He
finer
fucked
details.
up, but we don't know exactly how yet. So.
Exactly.
Running
So-
and gunning,
Oh yeah. I mean,
rush into the fight.
Hey, we all do that at one point in our life, man. We all rush. But honestly, I'm glad that you all enjoyed that. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that was great,
Yeah,
man.
Best episode so far.
yeah, and next one's also a really good one. Next one is also really good, and it's and I guess we're going to move on to that. So, without further ado, want to thank everyone for tuning in. Want to thank everyone who is supporting us on Patreon and is watching this through Patreon. And yeah, effectively, we will see you all on the next one. So until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
Andrew?
Chad?
I'm Nick.
And see you, Space Cowboy.